Hey, what's up, big baller? Shot callers, Big Ken here. Welcome from the Grid Through and Sports Talk Show. Joined by my co-host Andres. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up, man?
All right, man. We have some things to talk about. Obviously, a lot of World Cup action.
Hmm.
Round of 16 games just finished today, so we're down in the quarterfinals in the World Cup. We'll make some predictions on that, but we got to talk about some of these round of 16 games. The primary one being the game
Yep,
last night here in Seattle,
yep.
U.S. versus Belgium. Uh, yeah, that was not a good game for the U.S., but we will talk about that. I
Yeah.
thought would be better, but I have my reasons why I think some of it may not have gone quite as good as we thought. Balogun having his red card removed and
Yep.
President Trump being involved in that. It's We're going to talk about that. I won't get into the details quite yet for the opening, but we're going to talk about that, and then of course, like I said, the predictions
Hmm.
for the quarterfinals and maybe an early pick of who we think is going to win this whole thing kind of early before we get to the finals game is kind of like test our knowledge, see what happens. You can find out later if we're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and also we might talk a little bit about some hate on U.S. men's national team with certain. Well, we might hit that up but some of that's Trump related too. So, uh, but let's get in this Belgium. Well, before we get into the Belgium game, because we have to start before the game even started. We know what happened to Balogun. He
Yep.
got red carded in the round of 32 game in the middle of the second half against Bosnia. We know this. Um, what the crazy thing is we haven't really seen a red card removed very rarely. I know Cristiano Ronaldo has been involved in something like this with Portugal.
Yep.
There's similar circumstances. Because Cristiano Ronaldo was suspended for 3 games, like during World Cup qualifying. I guess like towards the end of the World Cup qualifying, he I guess elbowed some players for whatever team he was playing against. I think it was Ireland, and they beat Ireland that game like 2-0. And supposedly he was going to be suspended for 3 games. And if that suspension would have held up, he would have been suspended for the first 2 games of the group stage. But it was suspended. His red card was suspended, just like Balogun's. But it's a little bit different, I think, because I don't think, at least to the best of my knowledge, I don't think the Portuguese president was calling up the FIFA president saying, "Can you take a
Nah, I
look at
don't. I
this?"
don't think that happened. Yeah.
so, um, obviously, Portugal themselves, like the team, wanted it to be looked at, but
Yeah.
I don't think the government was involved in it. Um,
Yeah.
so I know what okay, this is what I think. I'll start off since I'm kind of jumping off the deep end here. I'll start off so I won't put you on the spot. I'll say what I gotta say first, so it makes it easier for you, no matter what you think, because I know this is a big kind of subject. So, okay, um, I still know why. I don't understand why Trump did that. Like, if he did it, I still understand why he wasn't more discreet about it. Me and Monty were kind of talking about that.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't. Yeah, I'm sorry. I
no,
don't
no,
agree
you're
with him
fine.
doing it. I don't agree with him doing it at all. I don't think he should have even been involved. I know him and the FIFA president, whatever his name is, are boys, or they've been good friends for like over a decade. I get that, but I still think politicians can ever be involved with what happens in outcomes of sporting games. Even if it's a bad, horrible, freaking decision, it doesn't matter. People have to live with it, man. It happens.
Yeah.
Um, and what I think it did personally, what I think it did was obviously Belgium's a really good team, so we weren't guaranteed to win. We're never guaranteed to win any game. That's for any
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah.
But I think it put a huge target on our back. I think it woke up Belgium because they've been kind of sluggish in the World Cup, kind of like.
I agree. I agree.
And I think the target got put on our back, and they came out and they kicked our ass. So, and they had a great first half. Great
They
game.
did.
Start off great because they've been starting off really slow, but they did not start off slow this game. We're under immense pressure right from the right from the beginning. So what do you got, brother?
Yeah. I think. I mean, it was a tough game to watch. Obviously, that's just as a USA fan, you would hope that they would come out a little stronger because they did look really like they did come out really strongly in every other game. I feel like in the
They
first
did.
half, they were the usually the better team. So you kind of wanted them to have maybe some of that same fire, but they just didn't look like they had it. Belgium, for some reason, like you mentioned, they've been really slow in this tournament. Personally, I felt like I mean, I thought they were going to lose last game, so I was surprised that they were able to
Yeah, they came back from
do that
2-0 against
comeback.
Senegal. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
surprised too.
they did the comeback against Senegal, but even then, I still felt, I thought that they just weren't like that good of a team. They did have a really interesting lineup though to start the game. I know that they had like Jeremy Doku on the
Mhm.
bench, and I think they
Yep,
also had De Bruyne on the bench
they
too, which
did.
was surprising.
That
And
was. They saved them for the second half.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, maybe that played some factor where we just weren't expecting that type of lineup because they played like a different team. And I don't know if that has a lot to do with just like you mentioned, them being woken up against the US because, we had our president saying like it's because of me, and
Yeah,
no
he
one
was
really liked
bragging. I
that.
don't know why he's boasting about that. That was
Yeah.
so dumb.
Yeah. He was boasting about it. He had like a press conference where he brought it up multiple times. And he's like, "Oh yeah, because of me, like we have our
He's
player back."
and we know he's been like this before with other subjects. We don't gotta get into all the other subjects, but he
Right,
likes to
right.
boast. He likes to boast a lot. Like it's because of me that this is happening. I mean, the man's got a huge ego.
Yeah. That's a fair point, I would say. It's a fair point.
I mean, I know other guys that do too, but his is the biggest I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Um, obviously, obviously I'm not the leader in his position, being the leader of the free world, but I've been in leadership positions in Navy, and like I was in charge of a couple hundred people, and obviously out of a couple hundred people, you're not gonna make everyone happy, and
Yeah.
I know Trump's not gonna make everyone happy, but I just don't know what but that's no excuse for him to like just call this guy up. I know they're friends, which kind of probably led to it, but I just don't understand what makes him think he can do that, like why would you do that? And here's the other point, like we've been hosting the World Cup, right? Us,
Yeah.
Mexico, Canada, U.S. All the countries have done a good job, but
All of them.
specifically talk about the U.S. So since we're in the United States
Yep.
here, they've done a great job. You live in Seattle. I live in
Hmm.
the suburbs of Seattle, basically, in the
Yeah.
Puget Sound area, but you live in Seattle. They've done a great job, hosted 6 games. I mean, it's been amazing.
It's been amazing.
They've supported the World Cup. They supported the USMNT team the 2 times they've played in Seattle. I mean, it's been great.
Hmm.
And it still was great last night, despite what Trump did.
Yeah.
But I still think it was just like a little bit of a black eye because like we've done such a good job hosting the World Cup,
We sure have. Yeah.
and then now Trump has to kind of like drop this bomb where now people are going to be talking about that instead of like how good of a job. It's basically
Like we've
changing the
done.
narrative. You know what I mean? Like, okay, now we're talking about why U.S. are being bullies in the World Cup, trying to impose their will. Because
Yeah.
that's what some people think. Like, oh, they're being bullies. Because he's the only person that would do that. He's the only president that would freaking
Agree.
do that, right? So because he thinks he can, because we're hosting, because he thinks because we're hosting World Cup, he has some kind of say so. Obviously, the government is involved in security, and rightfully so, and they've done a great job. I mean,
Hmm.
obviously the government should be involved in the security and all that kind of stuff, but not in what happens in the outcomes of games.
Yeah.
So I just don't get it. And like I already said, it just woke up Belgium.
Yeah.
Here's what I think about the starting lineup. I don't know. You have a great point, but part of me thinks this might be a reason too, because like you already said the U.S. is usually off to really good starts in all first halves of all the games
Yeah.
except for last night. Maybe he thought like, hey, I'm gonna sit De Bruyne and Goku because they're my two best players, but they might get off to a good start and maybe it's gonna be tied. Maybe we'll even be down by a goal. We don't know, but we're gonna put these guys in the second half and they're gonna finish the deal. Like they're gonna win us the game. You know,
Yeah.
that, that's how I look at it too. Or like you said, or they just realize maybe we shouldn't put them in. We should put these other guys in, and they could come in later. I don't know, but they showed out, like you said. I mean, that one guy had the first 2 goals of the game.
Yeah.
Um, we just weren't playing defense, man. Like we couldn't guard crosses worth of crap. We were getting torched on the left side. The long ball, we were getting torched every which way on defense. Like we couldn't guard the long ball. The main thing is though, we weren't kicking the ball in the box. The defenders were kind of like not just getting it the hell out of there. They were kind of like playing around with the ball, and it was like the ball was just staying in the box, which is really dangerous,
Yeah.
and we were getting burnt. Um, it may not all been their fault because sometimes you can't clear it as easy as it looks. There's people in your way, and maybe they're having a hard time clearing because it was deflecting off people. I don't, it was just a bad game, you know. And we were opposition, and I think our defense has always been the big question mark, and
Hmm.
it kind of showed up last night. Our offense was never a problem, but our defense was kind of like we people have been questioning our defense long before the World Cup even started.
Yeah.
Kind of been an issue, you know. So it showed up last night.
Yeah, I know the defense was the weak part. Yeah, and it definitely showed up last night. I mean, they put the fourth goal on just for good measure, I guess, at that point.
Yeah, of course Lukaku got it.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
mean, the guy's been I mean, he's scored what, I think 3 goals in the tournament so far,
I
maybe
think he
two
has
or
like around
three.
100 goals for Belgium in his international play.
Yeah, I mean,
He's the leading
guys,
goal
he's a
scorer. I
good
mean, he has a
player.
crazy amount of goals.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that it ended the way it did. You would have liked to have seen at least a fight. Like for me, it's like the Mexico game. Like, yeah, they also lost, but
They
they were
fought
down
hard.
2-0, 3-1, and they fought hard to make it a game. But the US, it almost felt like they kind of rolled over a little bit because I just didn't see the same like intensity.
No, it
Um,
started from the very beginning of the game at no
yeah,
intensity.
yeah, and I mean the way you start's gonna be. I mean, it's hard to kind of go back into it if you start like as low. I feel like as low as they already did. And you got to fight to get back into a game like that, and it just didn't really happen. They scored the one goal, and
I thought we
everything
were
was
going to be
hype,
back
and you
in it
thought
after
maybe
that.
okay, like they can put a little fight together, maybe put
That's
a
what
little
I thought
run, and
too.
then
Yeah.
immediately let up a goal, and it's like okay,
Yes. We immediately got put back on our backs and our heels
yeah.
again. Yeah,
And
I
then
was
the
thinking the
goalkeeper
same
was
thing.
terrible,
He was good in the
unfortunately.
first half, but that mistake he had in the second half was just
Yeah.
horrible. I haven't seen like high school kids do something crazy like that. He's a professional goalkeeper. I still know why he just didn't boot it the hell out. He did such a great job of cutting it off because
Hmm.
our defender was burnt again. I think he was onside. He wasn't onside. He got burnt on a long ball again, and he comes out to cut it off. He did a great job doing that, but I don't know why he just didn't. When you get there, just freaking smash that thing, like
Yeah.
because you can't touch it because you're out of the box. Well, not with your hands at least. You can just have to. You have to use your legs,
Yeah.
So, uh, and he tries this little funky backwards pass. Like I think he just got lost for a second and just kind of like hesitated or freaked out or something, and then he got burned.
Yeah, he got burned, and that I feel like like the
That was the
team just
icing on the cake. Well,
yeah.
really,
I mean,
Lukaku what really added the icing with the 4-1. But I think at 3-1, I kind of knew it was over.
yeah, I think at 3-1 it was like okay,
One
yeah.
good thing I say about the U.S. though, I mean, oh, go ahead, man.
No, no, I was just agreeing. Yeah, I think that once it was 3-1, it was kind of like yeah, like it's that mistake was huge. It kind of
That was huge, and that was
it was over.
surprising. I was just surprised it even happened. If we gave up a third goal in a different way, I'd be like, okay, whatever. But the way he gave up that goal, it's like, oh my god, like this game has just been bad from the jump. But
Yeah,
just a lot of mistakes last night, mistakes they weren't making in previous games, and they just looked flat from the very beginning. Like I'm wondering if obviously the target on the back, I mentioned that Balogun didn't play good, and I really like him. Like obviously he has nothing to do with the decision. I think he handled everything really well. He was being quiet. He wasn't,
yeah,
all over the media
yeah. He didn't
complaining.
say a word. I
He
feel
didn't
like it
say a
was
word. He did a really good job of just staying to himself, and he was going to play it out no matter what happened, whether he played or not. If he didn't play, he was just going to cheer on his teammates, and hopefully they could win without him. That's how he was looking at it, and um, maybe it should have happened that way. I'm not saying we would have won, but I think we definitely could have played a better game. I know Belgium's really good, and they're number 9 for a reason, but I think we are better than a 4-1 game, and you mentioned already how good I think we had a really good World Cup overall, and that's why people are so
yeah,
hyped about this game because like we've lost in the round of 16 a lot before, but this year felt a little bit different. One, we had an extra game, so we won our first knockout stage game in over 20 years since 2002. Because we never had a round of 32 before, so people were hyped about that. But we do have the extra game this year with 48 teams and not 32, an extra knockout game. And we've lost in the round 16 like 4 or 5 times in a row. But like I said, this year was a little bit different because we had to win a previous game, knockout game before it, and everyone thought we were rolling with how he looked. against Bosnia in the group
Yeah.
stage, and it made us believe. Like I think I'll give American men credit for that. Like this is the first time I think ever for American men soccer, international soccer play that we actually thought we had a chance against some powerhouses like a Belgium or someone else.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think, I mean, they just look so good. I know you can say it's because they didn't really play anyone, but, the tournament, there's so many teams and there's only so many that are like actually good that it's hard to like, you know when, like, it's like, I don't know. They said the same thing about Mexico. They were like, oh, they haven't played anyone good yet. And then they ran into England. It's like, okay, well,
They look
you
good,
know,
yeah. I
I
mean,
mean, it's kind of how it happens. I mean, look at Argentina. They've played literally nobody.
oh,
And,
it
you
happens like
know,
that in March Madness sometimes too for college basketball. Like you don't get some teams have a easier bracket, easier path to get into the Final Four than others. It just it depends. But eventually you're gonna get if the farther you go, you're gonna get someone's gonna give you a game. So I think Mexico played great though. Like I said, they showed more of a fight than we did. But I'll say what Monty said about this whole red card thing. 'Cause I asked him if it was okay to mention him. My friends and I were talking about this last night
yeah.
too. My Hawaiian friends, Monty knows them. We saw them in San Diego a couple years ago when we had a multi-city trip. So Monty met them for the first
Oh,
time.
nice.
Um, yeah, November 2024, they met Monty. So yeah, we went out to San Diego together, and we went to Tennessee first to see my family. We went to a football game with my dad at University of Tennessee versus Kentucky game, SEC. That was my first SEC game. That was fun. Um, but that was during that trip. But all right, Monty said he was okay with what Trump did because they're boys. Like he didn't mind him intervening, but
Mhm.
he definitely thinks that he should have been quiet about it. Like show some, what was the word? Like show some discretion. Um, Monty's my best friend. We agree 90% of the freaking time. So we hardly have any debates on the show unless we get a guest or something. Occasionally we'll disagree. But obviously, I wish he could have done this show tonight because I think this is one of the very first times that we would disagree. Obviously, Monty is a really good guy, very humble, very easy spoken. But I just don't agree that Trump should have intervened. I know him and the FIFA president are boys. It doesn't look so bad the way he described it, saying, "Hey, I figured he'll get." Monty said, "I didn't." Monty said, "I don't mind him giving him a call. They're friends. Like, hey, please take a look at this." I mean, that doesn't sound that bad, I guess, coming from that perspective. Like, hey, you're my friend. Just take a look, and just review it again. That doesn't sound bad, but to me, it's just bad all the way around. Like he should not be calling him for anything that has to do with a U.S. game. So that's just me. Um, I know you already kind of said your piece, but I wanted to get Monty's in
Yeah,
there.
get his input. Yeah, I mean, I think, it's good to see like different sides, I guess, right? Like
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it would have been a good debate if he was
yeah,
here.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, because I'm with you kind of on this one. Like, I just don't think it should have
it makes
happened.
us look really bad. It just makes us look like, oh, you're getting involved because the game's being hosted in the United States, and now you think you can get involved because you're the host country and you're a leader of the free world, and you think you can just do whatever you want. You can interfere in things. That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, and like I said before, was it deserved? Probably not. But sometimes calls are made that are 50-50, and it is what it is. Like I said, you got to live with those calls.
yeah,
I do think he was going for the ball. He wasn't trying to hurt the player. That was completely obvious. He had good intentions. It wasn't intentional, but like my son said, and a lot of people have said that no soccer inside out, like intentions don't matter with red cards sometimes.
yeah,
Which I don't think is fair, but that's soccer rules. I think intentions mean everything personally. I think that's the difference between a red card and a yellow, but that's not the way it works in soccer. And my son did explain it like a little bit more. Like another reason why is because even though he didn't mean to, like him coming from behind and like he went from like the calf down, which can lead to some serious
yeah.
freaking
Cap down. Yeah,
that can lead to some serious career-ending injuries like tearing your Achilles,
yeah, yeah. I mean,
breaking
yeah,
your ankle. Thank God nothing happened to that guy. I mean, obviously he was in pain for a couple of minutes, but he popped back up. He was in serious pain. I
He
know
was in
soccer
serious
players
pain.
flop a
Yeah.
lot, but he was in
Yeah.
freaking
Yeah.
pain. He was definitely in pain.
Yeah.
I know sometimes you can't tell, but he was, because that did hurt. I mean, yeah, and they have metal spikes, like
Yeah. In their cleats. Yeah.
so that hurt. That's why they can't do that from behind. I know Messi got away with it. It's unfortunate. People are talking about that too.
People are talking about that. Yeah.
Um, but but our guy got called out on it. Whether it's fair or not, he got called out on it. And that's the way it was. Um,
I mean, I think it's like if the rules are there and, by letter of the law, like that's a red. I mean, I don't like it obviously because I wanted the US to have their full team and it sucks that there is like pl other players that have not gotten called for something very similar. But at the same time, you have to kind of take it for what it is. And I think he should have just been suspended. Um, and you kind of eat it and you try your best. But yeah,
yeah,
I just think it's part of sports at the end of the day, right? Like it
it
happens.
is.
It happens in all
It happens
sports.
in every sport, man. It happens in every sport.
Exactly. It happens in every sport. So, I mean, it's just part of how it goes. Sometimes you get the short end of the stick and you just gonna, because, by the same rule, like, what if Belgium had had one of their best players suspended or
Yeah,
something? We
exactly.
would have, on the other, if it would have been the roles reversed, the US would have been super upset if they got their guy. Um,
Exactly. I'm glad you brought
so
that up. That's an outstanding point.
I
If
wonder
the
if
if the
Trump would have
roles were
called.
reversed, they would not be happy if a guy came back.
Yeah. It makes you wonder if Trump would have called and been like, he can't come back and play. He should be, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
call the FIFA president for the opposite thing to happen.
that's a great freaking point. Um, and I know Belgium did try to dispute it. They lost
They
this week.
did, yeah.
They put in something and FIFA shot it down, but they disputed it. Oh my God, I forgot about this. I know Ron's for a while, but this is the main subject though. Everything else to be a lot faster.
Yeah.
Um, some of the American commentators, obviously, we live in a free country. People can say what the hell they want. That's why we're free, debating, like I'm saying, like within sports and decisions and what happens during games and analyzing and all that kind of stuff. But here's the thing, bro. Um, Alexi Lawless, he's a good analyst. Obviously, he's a pioneer of U.S. men's soccer, playing the World Cups in the '90s when we sucked, and they were kind of against. That's what kind of sparked interest with the men,
Yeah.
since then. And we hosted the World Cup back in '94 when he played, and that kind of sparked interest with the men playing soccer. And 30 years later, we're better. I mean, we're still got a long ways to go to catch up to the top teams, but we are getting better. So Lexi Lawless and Clint Dempsey was like 15 years after him and Donovan, and they're all on these. They're all on the show, and Alexi Lawless, like I said, I think he's a good analyst, but I think he was being very arrogant about it, very brash about it. I don't know if you saw what he was saying, but he was just saying
Mm-mm.
like not the day of the game, but like right after it had like a day, but when it came out the day before that he was going to play, they were talking about the day before the game, and he
Hmm.
just said like, well, I know people aren't. I'm paraphrasing. People aren't going to like it, but it's going to be us versus the world. And he's like, bring it on. Like I think
Mm.
that's this crap we don't need because it's making us look like bad guys even more. Like America versus the world. Like when our president probably shouldn't have done what he did. And
Yeah.
and and they're like okay. I mean, they have a right to be okay with it because like Monty was okay with it. Monty wasn't okay with him being not being
Yeah.
deceived. He was okay with him calling. So I'm sure other Americans think that. But the way Lex, it's not how the famous speech goes. How the famous speech goes is not just what you say, but how you say it. I don't. I think the way he came out with that very arrogant. Obviously, he can say what he wants. He's not here to defend himself. Obviously, he knows soccer, being a player in the
Yeah.
'90s. Um, but I think he was wrong. Clint Dempsey said something too, like it was on the ref. He didn't say it was like loudly as what Alexi Laalas did, but he did say, "Hey, it's on the ref, man. It's not on Balogun. It's on the ref. The ref didn't do a good job." I'm like, I don't know about that. I was watching the game. I thought the ref was okay, and then I remember immediately after the game, and this is nothing Alexi Laalas said. Immediately after the game, when they're commentating after America won 2-0 against Bosnia, he said the ref was a joke. Like, that was a joke. That red card was a freaking joke. Like, he was talking serious shit, like from the
Mm,
very beginning. And I just think he's making it worse. So,
yeah.
and my friend, I mentioned my friends earlier and I forgot because I got on another tangent. But my friends from Hawaii, I was talking with them on a group text yesterday before we get on the next subject, and me and my friend's wife, Romley, she's a really good lady, and we were going back and forth, and she said she completely disagreed, like but the only thing I won't say I was arguing with her about, but what we were talking was
Yeah.
she was not going for the United States at all. She's like, "Go Belgium." I
Oh,
was like,
gotcha.
"What?" I was like, "What?" Because she was mad. Of course, she wants to
Uh,
go for Team USA, but she's mad. She's like, "Yeah, we're being bullied. It's fairness. Like, I'm cheering for Belgium now. He shouldn't have done that, and and they're
yeah.
and they're Republicans, so I know they voted for Trump for crying out loud.
So they that's interesting that she was doing that, I
Yeah, at
guess.
least to the best of my knowledge, they did. I mean, maybe I shouldn't put that out there. Sorry, guys. I mean, that's their personal business, but they're great friends of mine, and yeah, that was interesting. She said that. I was like, "Go Belgium!" Like, because what I said back was like, "Hey, I understand you're upset, but I'm always gonna go for Team USA no matter what. Like, why are you saying go Belgium? Like, it's not the American players' fault. It's not even Balogun's fault. That's what I was telling her. Like it's on our commander in chief.
Yeah.
It's not on the players or it's not even on our coach. That's what I was telling her. Like, but I understand she was frustrated because she's like, the only thing I care about is fairness, and that's what she said. And I was like, yeah, I won't disagree with you there. So I think we agreed, like with like three-quarters of it, we agreed he shouldn't have done it. It did look kind of unfair that he's making phone calls, but I wasn't. Yeah, the whole Go Belgium thing that kind of got me going like a little bit because I wasn't no Go Belgium. I still
Yeah.
wanted us to win the game. So but he's retired Navy like me, and they trust me. They love the United States because all their kids are in the Navy as officers. They have a
Hmm.
Navy family. He's a retired Navy chief. I'm a retired Navy senior chief, and all four of their kids are in the Navy right now, active. So, and they're all officers. Went to the Naval Academy, so I know they got a lot. They got a lot to be proud of with the Navy, and their family. Good
Mm.
family, good
Mm.
traditional Hawaiian family. Very hospitable, cook good ass food. They sing a lot of karaoke like you did last night.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
always singing karaoke with them. I heard Monty sing karaoke for the first time when we met a year and a half ago. That was fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Has he got a good singing voice or
No, none of us do, but he wasn't bad. He
okay,
wasn't
okay.
bad. Out of the three, I'll let Romley judge us. Out of the three, I think I'm the best, but I'll let Romley judge that because Romley listens to all three of us. She can sing.
Mm.
Um, she has a nice voice. Um, we always make her sing "Heart of Glass," but she can nail that song. It's an '80s song.
I don't know if I
Um,
know that one. Maybe if I heard it.
it's high pitched, and she can. Obviously, she's a woman, so she can sing high.
Gotcha.
She can really do it. Yeah, she nails it. All right. I guess we can we can finally move on.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned in the beginning though that all the host countries lost, right? I did mention that, but I
Yeah,
guess
all of them lost, yeah.
we can't. We were briefly talking about this Mexico. We can talk about like some of the other round 16 games that are very interesting. The Mexico game obviously was. England went down to 10 men middle of the second half, and they held on to win 3-2. Mexico did show some fight, in that game. I agree, a lot better than the United States, did. So
Yeah.
England played some good defense last. They almost played the whole entire second half at 10 men. It happened
Yeah.
early. It happened earlier
Yeah.
than what our red card did in the Bosnia game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was I mean England did a great job. I think Mexico just kept trying to do the same thing over and over and over and over again for that second half. Like they had like five guys going for headers every time. I didn't personally like that approach. I thought maybe they, especially when they're playing with one man up, maybe just have a guy or two kind of sitting back waiting for like, the ball to be, if it gets punched out or if it bounces back towards the middle of the box or something. They never seem to have anyone in good position.
Yeah, agreed.
Um, and so it's just the same thing over and over. They had a few chances. Unfortunately, they obviously didn't convert.
They had one at the very end. That was close. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was close. but yeah, I mean, it's just, kudos to England. I mean, they have a great team, and they played really well when they needed to. And so, yeah, I mean, they're moving on. They're playing Norway next. That'll be a fun game, you
Yeah,
know.
your big European showdown. No, the Norway striker, that guy is freaking
Oh,
killing.
dude, I love
Holland
Holland.
is absolutely killing it. He's in
He's
the
been
race.
phenomenal.
He's in the race for the boot with Messi and Mbappe.
Yeah,
Messi got another freaking goal today to tie it
he
up
did. Yeah,
2-2. He has 8 goals now, but I know Mbappe and Holland have 7.
seven
Harry
each.
Kane's
Yeah,
right behind him with 6
yeah.
for
Kane's had a
England.
great World Cup too. Because he had a goal against Mexico. He had the PK.
He did. He nailed it because he missed a PK before
Yeah.
in a previous World Cup when it came down to the end of the game. I think it was in a penalty shootout. He missed it. I think it was in a quarterfinal game against France. It was either quarterfinal or semifinal game.
Um, I'm not sure.
It was a big miss.
But yeah, I think
I know it's against France.
it'll
It's
be a really good quarterfinal though. I hope so. I mean, we'll see. The Argentina side's been they haven't really faced anyone. Their first real test will probably be either England or Norway. I don't think Argentina's played like super great. Like today they had that really insane comeback, but to be fair, like, there's the stuff about the refs and the disallowed goal by Egypt because at the beginning of the play they said he stepped on the foot, so they disallowed that goal. And then later on, Egypt actually, I feel like they got fouled in the box, and Argentina did something very similar, but they allowed the Argentina goal, but not the Egypt
That's
goal, which was
interesting. I didn't
weird.
see the game, so that's interesting. I saw
Yeah,
the
so
comeback.
it's just yeah, we'll see. Honestly, I think if I had to pick from that side of the bracket to be in the final, I think Norway's played the best. I don't think they don't have the talent that England does, or maybe Argentina's got a little bit better of like strategy, I guess. But like Norway's been playing. I mean, they've been in form. They've been great.
Yeah,
So I mean, I would love to see a Norway France final
they haven't
personally.
even been in. This is our first World Cup in like the last
30 like 20 like 30 years
20
or
some
something
years.
apparently. Yeah.
They
Yep.
made it when I was younger, like around your age. Like they were decent back then, but then they had this drought, and now they're in it for the first time, like in 4 World Cups. And then they make this run to the quarterfinals. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah. I would love to see them keep it going because I'm a big Holland guy. Love the guy. I mean, he's also incredible player.
He is. He's great. He's tall like me. He headers, but he also took that shot to get second goal where he hit it in the
Yeah.
corner pocket from outside the box. So he shows that he can do more than just
Dude,
do
his
headers.
power is ridiculous. He's phenomenal. I think it'll be tough, like I said, against England. Also, England has a lot of players that have that play against him because they have a lot of Premier League players, so they kind of
Mhm.
know, maybe a little more about how to play Holland than some of these other teams that have never seen him in person. Some of these defenders have never actually played against him.
Yeah, that's interesting. Has anyone scored any goals besides him? I know obviously he's the primary goal scorer. Nothing wrong with that, but someone else has
Yeah.
to step up.
I think they've had one. I think they've had like maybe one or two other guys score a goal,
Yeah, I think so
but
too. I think you're right. I don't think it's all been him.
no, and for sure, I mean, he didn't play in that France game, and they had a goal in that game. So
That's right. Good point. Yeah, they lost like 3-1 or 4-1 or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, something like that. He didn't. Yeah, he didn't play. I mean, none of their starters played actually. They had one guy that was a starter playing that game, and I think he was a uh, right back or something, or
Mm.
maybe yeah, maybe it was a one of the right or left backs. I think
Yeah, that made sense to rest them because they were already through because they won the
they're
first
right through. It
game.
made no sense to play him. It sucked though because everyone wanted to see them play against
Yeah, that was
France.
kind of like an early showdown. Yeah,
Hmm.
what might look like later on in
What
the
could
World
have? Well,
Cup.
yeah, it could very well be the final. That'd be dope. I would love to see that personally.
Yeah, that'd be great. Um, so th-
Yeah, maybe you want to jump. Maybe you want to jump in a couple of the predictions for the
yeah, we
rest of
can
the
do that.
games.
Yeah, the first one is France Morocco, 9 July.
Yeah,
Who do you got in that game? Morocco, 2 years in a row, they're looking great. They were the
yeah,
Cinderella of the World Cup, last World Cup, making the
yep.
semis, losing to France. This is the rematch of the semis in the quarterfinals, because
Hmm.
they played France in the semis last World Cup. Morocco is really good. They got some world class players, but
Yeah, they do too.
France is
Yeah,
legit though. They got too
France
much, I think.
is a monster, dude. They're insane. I think France should win that game, and I'm gonna pick them to win that game just because I mean they're built top to bottom. So
Yeah, they have more than just Mbappe.
yeah,
I mean, they
yeah.
have Delembe. They got I can't remember all their
They have
names.
Elise as well. Yeah, one of
Lise. They
their
got
like
so many
third
freaking
option. I
players.
think he's actually leading the entire tournament in assists. I think Elise is.
He's a
It's not
beast.
not that hard of a job when you have Mbappe and Dembele right there. So
No, and like my son said, they're my son said their whole second team could make a deep run in the World Cup. That's probably true.
probably.
So that's how good France is. Their whole second team, their second string could get probably to they can get out of the group stage and make some noise. I don't know if they'll win the whole thing, but they can win some knockout stage games. They're probably the deepest team. I mean, Argentina is really deep too, but I
Hmm.
think France is deeper. I got France in this game also. I know Morocco's gonna be really motivated. They want revenge.
They want revenge, yeah, and they wanna prove like, oh, we could win this whole thing.
It's
But
gonna
yeah,
be
I
a
think
good game, but I
it
still
should be
got
good.
France. I still got France.
What's the
All
next game?
right, Spain.
Spain and Belgium.
Yeah, Spain, Belgium.
I'm gonna take Spain. I mean, again, Belgium hasn't looked great in the tournament. I mean, they just destroyed the US, but they haven't. I mean, Spain's. I mean, they also have world-class talent, top to bottom.
Yeah, and they haven't
So
even played their best either, but I think
yeah, they're due. They're due
they're
for
due.
one
Yeah, I
game where they
agree.
can
They're
kind
due.
of. Yeah, I think
Their,
Spain should take that game too.
their best game was like I think either the round of 16 or round of 32 game. They beat Austria 3-0. They finally
Put some on the board. Yeah,
put some on the board because they've been having a scoring issue. That's here's the thing about Spain. They haven't let no one score yet.
yeah, that's true.
Their defense is phenomenal, but they've been struggling on
Yeah,
offense themselves, winning like these 1-0, 2-0 games, and they usually can score. So I don't know what the heck's going on with their offensive third, but the Austria game, they finally scored 3 goals. The Portugal game, I kind of expected a 1-0 game because Portugal is a pretty decent team and it's a rivalry game, so I was okay with the 1-0 against Portugal.
yeah,
But with some of these other group stage games, they weren't scoring. I mean, they tied 0-0 against the freaking Cape Verde. We're like, whoa, but Cape Verde is amazing, by the way. But
yeah. That was yeah,
I forgot to mention that. My God, Cape Verde, oh my God. They took Argentina to the limit.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. They
I
did.
loved it. I was hoping they were going to win.
I was also rooting for them to win that
And
game.
me and
They
Mops are
were
like, we should buy Cape Verde jerseys. I'm like, you're probably
yeah,
right.
they were fun. Yeah, yeah, that was a really fun game.
Yeah, it was. That second goal by that guy to tie it 2-2, that
Uh,
was a freaking
that
shot.
was
That
yeah,
was thick. From the deep left side to the right corner, like that was a freaking amazing shot. Like, I'm like, holy crap. Not a whole lot of guys could have done that. Like, wow. That was amazing. But okay, we kind of talk about Norway, England a little bit, but we'll get back to the game maybe. But Argentina, Switzerland, who you got in that one? Switzerland just won on penalty kicks. I don't know a whole lot about their team. I know they're good, obviously. No, I know a lot more
Switzerland.
about Argentina.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it should probably be. I mean, it should probably be Argentina that's going to beat Switzerland. I think Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken, they were actually not favored against Colombia. Colombia just somehow just didn't get through.
No, they missed a goal opportunity to score, and the guy shot it over the freaking crossbar
Yeah,
late in the game. That could have been the game-winning goal. Yeah, they just didn't play. Colombia was favored. They just didn't play very good. Um, yeah, and they did horrible in penalty kicks. They still could have won in penalty kicks, but they looked nervous during penalties and they lost. So their captain missed the shot, which didn't help. I feel bad for him because he's their captain. He probably makes it 99 of 100 times, but, you know, that was the first shot they missed, and they missed a couple other ones, but that was the first one which led to them losing. Um, yeah, I got Argentina. Argentina's been surviving lately, which is kind of weird.
yeah.
I thought they'll be playing better, but you still got to give them credit. They're still finding ways to win these freaking games. Yeah, Argentina, Norway, England. Do you think Norway can? Do you think they can pull it off, man?
Oh man. I'm gonna go for Norway. I'm gonna go for Norway just because again
Yeah,
yeah I like them.
I like them too, and they're fresh blood. I like that also. A lot of people probably do. So everyone likes a new team in the mix. Um, I want so here's what I think. I want Norway to win. In my heart, I would rather see Norway because then, like I said, being
Mm,
the kind of sort of I won't say a Cinderella, but
yeah,
not being in the World Cup for a long time, making some noise after 20 plus years, getting this far, amazing, like I already said. But I'm still gonna go for England. My logical choice is England, but my heart is saying I want Norway
yeah.
to do it for the upset. Because I'm always a big underdog guy too, and that makes me want to go for Norway also. Um, but England's had a lot of issues in the quarterfinals. They make it to the quarterfinal. I think they have more quarterfinal appearances, almost more than anybody. They're up there. They're up there. They're towards the top of the list.
Yeah.
Um, they've been in semifinals two or three times. So there's been a couple times they've gotten past the quarterfinals. They won the whole thing in 1966, so it's been 60
Right.
years. They're in a major drought, but they have their issues in the quarterfinals. I almost think they're due. Um,
Maybe it's coming home. You know, they always say that it's coming home. It's coming home. Maybe it finally is.
yep, they've lost. They've lost in some. They're showing some highlights of it before the Mexico game. How they're losing, like their despair, like their drought. Like they've lost so many quarterfinal games in some weird freaking ways. It seems like one of the guys always gets a red, and the funny thing is they got a red in the freaking Mexico game in the round 16. Like, oh my god, here we go. Is this happening around early? But they still managed to win that game. And or they miss a penalty kick. You know, things have happened in their games like where they have these games won or it looks like they should win, and
Yeah.
they're in it, and they get red carded or they miss a penalty kick, something like that, and they lose the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're due. I know the English fans are getting tired of it. Like, oh my God, come on, when are we going to get over this crap? Because obviously they're just as diehard as anyone else in soccer, like any other European country. I
Yeah.
mean, they're ready for them to finally get past this. Um, so I got England.
You got
So
England. I'm gonna go Norway. Yeah, I just want them to I just want to see them keep going. And I think
I
you
would
know, I'll
not be
probably
upset if they won.
yeah.
If they win this whole thing, I would absolutely freaking love
I
it.
would love that, dude. I would love that. I'd have a Norway shirt for the
I would be
final. I'd be
buying
ready to go.
Holland shirt. Yeah, I
Oh
might have to
yeah.
get two jerseys: Cape Verde and Norway.
Norway, yeah.
uh, yeah, I'm all about Norway. That Holland kid, he's a beast, and his dad used to play. That's a cool
His dad
story.
that used to play, yeah.
Yeah, then now his son's playing, and this is his first ever freaking World Cup too. He's young. He has so many World Cups left ahead of him. He's already got seven freaking goals in the World Cup.
Yeah.
I guess I can mention that about Messi and Ronaldo. We know Ronaldo's retiring.
Yeah.
The Brazilian players retiring. He had already announced his retirement after they lost
Yeah.
to who did Brazil lose to in the round 16?
They lost to Norway.
Norway. Yes, Norway. We're talking about Norway. How did I forget that? And because of Holland, so Holland's two goals. Yeah. What's his name again? I know his name. Their main guy retired. I know him. He's a famous player. I shouldn't be forgetting this guy, but from
Or
Brazil,
Neymar.
Neymar. Oh my God, how can I forget that guy? He's a beast. Obviously, he didn't play much this World Cup, but he did play in the last game. He actually got a penalty kick to make it 2-1 very late, but
Yeah.
to kind of make it a game. But they're like down to like less than a minute. It was pretty much over. They just didn't have enough time. It was a little bit too late, but he did get a goal in his last game.
Yeah.
Um, had a lot of goals throughout the whole his career, but yeah, Brazil just can't get over the hump. But Neymar retired. Obviously Cristiano Ronaldo retired. Messi, as old as he is, he still looks like he might be able to go still.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
thing I want to say about Messi, yeah, he's 39. He's right behind Ronaldo at 41. More than likely he won't be in the next World Cup either, but he's still playing such high level though, competing for the freaking the boot, like the golden boot, whatever the heck they call it. Like
Yeah.
he might be able to do it if he stays healthy. And I don't know, man, because he scored more goals at the age of 35 in these last two World Cups than he did the previous like 3 or 4 World Cups. He's been
Yeah,
going
from what I remember, he
freaking
was not.
nuts.
Yeah, he like what? Yeah, he's been going up. But the team does do a really good job of playing for him. Like they play through him a lot. You
They
know,
do,
like
they do, they do, they do.
they do a
But he
good
was
job of
having
setting
some
him up.
droughts, like he was having some disappointments, just like Ronaldo. Because there used to be a big debate about with those two like several years ago before he once the debate was who was the GOAT. And
Yeah,
because there was arguments on both sides, but obviously there's no more argument anymore because once Messi won the World Cup last time against France, the debate was over because Ronaldo
yeah,
doesn't have a World Cup. Ronaldo has more international goals overall, but Messi's won the World Cup and Messi has far more World Cup goals. Like he's over 20 now. I think Ronaldo has like 11, which isn't bad, but I mean it's still pretty good. He's up there, but he's nowhere close to Messi in
yeah,
World Cup goals because Messi's, like I said, been on fire the last two World Cups. Because they're pretty even with. That's why there's a debate too before Ronaldo. I mean before Messi won because they were both kind of even in goals. They both are kind of like they kept on losing in the World Cup. These two really good players, their teams kept on losing, like in quarterfinals, semifinals, whatever it was. They wouldn't, win it, and but of course Messi changed all that.
yeah.
So last thing before we close, I guess we can kind of hit it. No, we really didn't mention. We said if it gets brought up, we could kind of talk
Like,
about. I want to talk.
yeah,
I kind of want to talk about if that's okay.
yeah. That's
Um,
fine. Let's do it.
there is some hate. I kind of barely mentioned it at the beginning. I said there's been some hatred. I think there's some hatred towards U.S. men's national teams sometimes, and what I meant by that in the beginning of the show was Monty and I were talking about this in a text, and I texted you. Me and
Yeah,
Monty were texting privately, but the conversation was because me and Monty met each other in El Paso, Texas, and there's a huge Mexican American community, and obviously I'm not against any community, whether it's Mexican American or not. I know you're a Mexican American, so I don't want to offend you or
yeah.
any of your
No,
friends,
no.
but I know we talked about it, and you said you're okay. Obviously, this doesn't apply to everyone, but there is like what me and Monty were kind of talking about was it seems like with some Mexican Americans, like there's like this hate towards U.S. men's national team. Like they always want them to lose, not just
Yeah,
against Mexico. It's like because what me and Monty said, they're playing Mexico. That's understandable because their heritage is Mexico. There's nothing wrong with cheering for your heritage. Me and Monty don't have the problem with that. I think what me and Monty were talking about was why is there hate? Why do Mexican nationals who live in the United States or American citizens? I mean Mexican Americans. I'm sorry, are American citizens, but they have a Mexican background. Why
yeah.
do they hate the men's national team so much? And they cheer for us. They go against us in every game
Hmm.
because like Monty said, we were in Dallas watching the football. We made a trip to Dallas in 2022, the last World Cup, and right before the last World Cup, and the U.S. men's national team was playing Holland and the Netherlands, and they
Yeah,
lost. And like Monty said, that he saw a lot of, the Mexican community at the Dallas airport just cheering for every time Netherlands scored a goal, they were going
yeah.
crazy.
Cheering for. Yeah,
They want us to lose. So
yeah.
what's your thoughts on that?
I think it's I don't I honestly it's just I feel like the community's kind of split kind of in the middle there because you see maybe it's a little more like 65% you'll see root against the US, but I do know it also stems from like the US team and the Mexico team just being rivals because I think they play for the same trophy,
Mhm.
the like
Definitely, that's part of it.
the North
Absolutely, yeah.
America thing,
Yeah, it's Copa
so
America or Gold
yeah,
Cup or something. Yeah, it's
they don't
something
want to
like
root
that.
for their like opponent, but also in my opinion, it's like they also live in the United States. So I understand if you don't want to root for them for that, the Copa America, but if it's the World Cup, it's a little different because I mean everything you kind of own or have as like an immigrant when you live in America is just because you live here. So I wish they would be like, I don't want to say patriotic, but it's maybe like, give them some support. It's just interesting to me that they choose not to support them for at all and they actively root against. I mean, it's okay if you don't support them, but you don't have to root against them. That just means, you just don't like them.
Yeah, yeah, that
Um,
makes it worse. That's why me and
yeah,
Monty were noticing, like, yeah, they root against us.
root against them, yeah, and it's like, well, there's no reason to root against them. Like you can be anti, and that's totally fine. Just the rooting against them, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And yeah, I think it just comes from, you know, I honestly I don't know. Like it's just I can't say why people choose to be on that side because, like I said, I root for both teams. I just think it's interesting to me that every time I ask someone that is like anti-US, I'm like, why do you not want to root? Like, why do you not like the US team? They just say the same thing. They're just like, ah, like they suck. And I'm just like, okay, like all right. I'm
Well,
like
we did
Mexico
used
sucks
to suck.
too, you know? I
We
mean,
did used to suck. Yeah, we don't
yeah,
suck anymore, like Monty said. We're starting to make some noise. There was one funny thing Monty said, and oh man, it was funny. I don't think you heard this part. You heard us talk about it a little bit. There was one thing you didn't hear though. He said he was asking his fiance about it because I already told you I am going back for Monty's wedding in
yeah.
October. His fiance is Mexican American.
Hmm.
Like I said, we grew up in El Paso. We met in high school in El Paso. El Paso, Texas is 80% Mexican. We have a lot of Mexican American friends. I totally respect the Mexican community. I love the Mexican culture. Hell, I love their freaking food. I'm eating
Yeah,
it all the
yeah,
time. Like there are so many things to like about the Mexican culture, but that's the one thing I just don't like, and it kind of just makes me mad. Cause like you said, I don't care if they cheer for Mexico when they're playing the U.S. Hell yeah, it's a rivalry game,
yeah,
and that's what me and Monty are saying. Yeah, it makes sense. Like when Mexico and U.S. are playing, they're going to go for Mexico. That makes total sense. And Monty said, "I'm cool with that," and like, yeah, so am I. Like we know this. That's kind of like a no brainer. But I don't understand like I still understand past that though. Like yeah, like once what like why when they're not playing Mexico, you still don't you still don't like them. But yeah, so me and Monty were just wondering because like so we grew up in a big Mexican community,
yeah.
and um, like so I was one of the very few white guys in high school. So I'm
Okay.
before I close, this is actually a funny freaking comment. I say this to my wife all the time. Actually, she told me, and it's true. Long time ago, my wife said this. Obviously, everyone knows my wife's Japanese.
Yeah.
But my wife told me this a long time ago, and it's freaking true. I told Monty this, and he started laughing. He always chuckles. I have not had the typical, I guess, since we're stereotyping a little bit, I've had the typical stereotype white guy's life because I've been a outsider a lot. Except when I was younger, when I grew up in the Midwest before my dad joined the army. When I was in the Midwest, I was living a typical white kid's life in Indiana, Michigan. Okay, but after that, I was always an outsider because I was in Japan. If you're not Japanese, you're a freaking foreigner. You know,
Oh yeah.
I was in Japan for over 10 years. I was gaijin. Uh, Hawaii. Hawaii has a name for white guys. Haoles. They don't like white guys. I mean, not all of Hawaii, but there's a name for us. And I lived in Hawaii for 3 years with my wife. There are some Hawaiian people who do not like mainland people. Not everyone.
Mm.
They're very hospitable. They're very good people overall. But there's some stuff there with that. So certain places in Hawaii, you gotta be careful where you go if you're not Hawaiian. Um, there's like some Hawaii only places, that around there, you know. And so I was an outsider in Hawaii for 3 years, but I have my wife who's Japanese, and they love the Asian community. They have no problem with the Asian community, but the mainlander community, especially white guys, they're kind of 50-50. Um, then, of course, in El Paso, like I already mentioned, in El Paso, Texas, like I was in high school as a little white, tall, skinny white kid, outsider. So it's kind of funny. So my wife mentioned that, I'm not making any excuses. I'm not like complaining, but it's just kind of funny that like, yeah, I haven't had like the traditional, like I've never been like the primary guy, like so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in Washington State now, so maybe I finally do. I've been in Washington State like for 15 or 16 years, so maybe I do now. But for the early stages of my life, I didn't. So me and my wife kind of joke about that. Like, yeah, you haven't had to, yeah. So I was kind of like I was a minority in a lot of places, which is not common usually for a white dude.
No.
So
No. That's funny though, you know? Yeah, it's
that's why my
yeah.
wife and I always laugh about it. And I told Monty, he just chuckles like, yeah, man, because if I wasn't probably playing basketball for high school, I'd probably get my ass kicked. I think me playing basketball probably like help me out. Oh, we can't
Might
kick
have
him.
saved you a little bit.
Yeah, we can't kick his ass because we need him.
We need him yeah, we need him on the team, dude. We can't kick
We
his
need him on
ass.
the team. We can't mess him up because we need him, man.
Yeah.
He's one of the very few tall guys we got.
Yeah, we need him for the rebounds, dude. Someone's got to get the rebounds.
But I actually had more game than this rebound. I was a shooter. Monty knows this. I was a
Okay, okay.
shooter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was playing a little
I
ball
can
this
shoot when I
weekend.
was younger, and I had the height, so I had
Oh
both.
yeah.
But I was a shooter, man.
Yeah, I was playing a little ball. I'm playing a little ball this weekend with Mai. She doesn't play basketball a lot, but she's got she could shoot a little bit. Maybe she probably learned
Really,
that
she's
from
gotten
you.
better then. I haven't seen her play in a
Oh,
long time.
gotten better. Must have not been very good then to begin with.
Well, she was a hacker. She's always been a fouler because she's aggressive. Me, we were playing like a little family game a long time ago, like when she was still in like maybe like early high school and Josh was middle school, so they're young as hell. I'm talking about like
Mm,
way over 10 years ago, and she didn't have good shooting form, but she is fairly quick. She has good athleticism. She always has. She was fast, and she was aggressive. She could rebound, but she would foul the crap out of me. Uh, she's a fouler, man.
were you calling the fouls back then,
Oh
or were
yeah,
you letting
I was joking. I was like, "Damn, you're a hacker."
them? That's
I was
funny.
like, "I don't know where you get that from," because I was kind of known for that too, a
Okay,
little
not
bit.
not from you, not from you.
Yeah, even though I was really skinny back in high school, I could foul. Um,
Mm.
I wasn't scared to drop down a big foul to not let someone. Not I was never like a dirty fouler, but you know what I mean. Like don't let him make him
Yeah,
earn.
I got to earn the layup kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was kind of like that. Like if I was gonna try to block the shot, and if
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't block the shot and I fouled you, I was like, whatever.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is. It's like, you just got to get up and accept it. Man, it's gonna happen, especially if you play basketball. You're gonna get
Yeah,
fouled.
I've been known for some hard fouls, and one of our good friends, I know we're dragging on, but this is funny. But one of our good friends, a long time, he probably remember, but I was never much of a fighter, but he got really mad at me, and he was another really good player. He's about my height. He was a tall
Mm.
brother, and he was a year older than me, so he had already just graduated from high school. And I was still playing my senior year, and we played a lot of pickup games together at a place that Monty knows about, where we met actually, playing pickup ball when we
Mm.
weren't in basketball season. All the pickup games are there, and yeah, he wanted to fight because we were guarding each other. And I fouled him pretty hard. He wanted to fight, man.
Hey,
He came
sometimes you
up.
gotta eat you gotta eat the foul.
Yeah, he came up. He pushed me. He wanted to go. I didn't do it. I just kind of said, "Hey, sorry." I was a pretty quiet kid. I was like, "Hey, man, I didn't mean it." I didn't want, and I was kind of being like really quiet afterwards. I remember like
Yeah.
his older brother was there, and his older brother was like, "Ken, man." He's like, "Don't worry about my younger brother, man. He's being a little baby, like this freaking play," because he could tell I wasn't playing as hard anymore, and he was like, "Man, no, come on, Ken, like, don't let that freaking bother you." So I remember I was just out of sorts for like a couple of minutes, like I was just kind of laying off of him for a little bit. Then
Yeah, yeah.
I did start playing because we had another game, like someone won or lost, and I got picked up on another team, and they're like, "Ken, shake that shit off, like you're freaking playing, man." Like you're a baller. They picked me up for the next game. Like you're,
Yeah.
don't worry about him, man. So, but he's a good friend of ours. But he was upset with me that day. So, but I backed down. I was just like,
Yeah, hey, and no, that's fair too. I would play pickup with my friends, and we definitely had some hard fouls between us. But it's that kind of thing. Like during the game, everyone's kind of competitive, and you just kind of try and brush it off. And then, after we were all done, we were kind of like, all right, like we're all good again. Like we're
he
just
said
chilling.
sorry afterwards. Like after the
Yeah,
whole game was over with, like an hour later, we're done, like walking home for the night. Yeah, he apologized. He kind of gave me a hug. He's like, "I'm sorry, man. I shouldn't have done that, man. I know you're just playing, but
yeah,
because he knew he affected me a little bit, for a couple of minutes, and he felt bad later, So, but I was kind of like that in high school. Like that was my problem in high school, not just him, but yeah, my mental side of things back then wasn't good.
yeah.
And I let stuff like that happen to me. I was a really good player, but the mental side, I just didn't have it at a young age. Mai has that. She's always had that. That's why I'm really proud of her. But yeah,
Mm,
I never had the mental side. I do now, but not back then. And that's what really killed me in high school sports was I had the talent, but the mental side, I was pretty weak.
mm.
So I can get affected very easily by something. I could get shooken up.
That's
So
yeah.
All right, but we'll finally close. But thanks, Andres. Great show.
Yeah, great show, man. Great. It's great to be on.
Yeah, we'll so yeah, next show maybe we were talking about after quarterfinals, semifinals, championship game or something. We could get Monty back on.
Yep.
So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll be back on for some more soccer action later, and definitely football in about another month,
Mhm.
month and a half.